Oh, are we live? We'll find out in
I
just a.
think we're live. I
It's.
think that we're live.
I
Hello.
choose to believe that we're live. Hello and good morning from sunny Los Angeles.
Yes. Hello and good morning from nighttimey England.
Nighttime. I mean,
Wait. I should be more specific than that. Manchester, because you said a town.
I said a city, David.
Oh, ooh. I do beg one's pardon.
Yeah. Oh, we are live. By the way, I can confirm that we are in fact live. There we go.
Great. That's exciting.
Yes. How it has been. We were talking just before we went live that it has been 7 full months since we last did this.
Flippo, Dippo, the thespian hero. What a long time that is.
What a delightful string of words you just said. Before we talk about how long it's been, I don't know what. Here's the thing. It is 9:03 in the morning here in Los Angeles, and I have been awake for slightly under an hour, and I've been lucid for, I'm gonna say, I don't think I was lucid when I started the Discord call, if I'm being completely honest.
I can confirm that.
But the sun.
Based on some of the drill that came out of your mouth.
Yeah, fair. That's fair. The sun was kind of up-ish around 8 o'clock. It was kind of that kind of.
Kind of up-ish.
Yeah, that is the song that we traditionally sing at 8 o'clock in the morning here in Los Angeles. But the sun was in the sky, kind of illuminating our bed. I think our bedroom window is west facing, so we don't get a lot of light in the morning. But I now that the conversation that we're now having, that was a bit Purdu, what's his face from Parks and Rec. Last time I went back to England for Christmas, which was 2019, I'd forgotten how short the days get, because the days here in the winter are not as short as they get in England, where we arrived at Heathrow, I want to say at 2:30, 3 o'clock, and by the time we were getting on a coach to my hometown around 4, the sun had gone, and this was like that's December 19th.
It's absolutely binoculars, isn't it? The fact that we've got no sun. I mean, it's only 5 o'clock here, and it's the middle of the night outside.
Yeah, that's. I don't know that's definitely not an LA thing at all. Like when I finish my day job on a weekday. I finish work about 4:30, and the sun is usually gone by 6 around this time of year. But it's still like the sunny orb in sky making sunshine occur. And these are
scarcely anything less sunny than the sun.
It is by definition the sunniest thing.
Sunniest thing.
I recently rewatched. I'm working my way through all of Doctor Who in broadcast order. We had this conversation yesterday, but I watched The Time of the Doctor on Monday or Tuesday, and that whole bit where the Doctor said, we only get 17 minutes of sunlight here, so I'm going to watch the sunrise. That was Christmas in England. That really was the vibe.
That is something that we dreaded in 2020, because we were like, we're already miserable. It's going to make us even less happy. But we're through the worst of it. The sun will start to last longer any time now. Well, not any time now, but it's going to start taking longer to go away. And hopefully, with things, vaccines and so on, maybe that will reflect our... Let's not talk about that. Although I want to acknowledge that it's been 7 months since we last saw each other.
Yeah.
I am now significantly hairier, having been disallowed from getting a haircut. In that time, here it is. This is my new weird shaggy head, and that's what you're going to have to be putting up with for the duration.
You do look very... third or fourth Harry Potter movie Ron Weasley right now. Although he obviously did not have a beard.
That is, I'm happy with that. I thought he had quite good hair.
Yeah.
I know the film you're referring to. I remember thinking, a shame I can't pull that off. Well, I might not be able to pull it off, but here I am with it. Anyway.
I think it looks simultaneously like it is definitely your hair, but also like you are wearing a wig that you got from a discount Halloween costume shop.
Yeah, well, this is because I am fundamentally unaware of what to do about hair and with hair.
Yeah.
I'm quite pleased with the fact that today, and you'll know this because you talked to me just yesterday, this is not something that happens every day. It's arranged itself into quite an entertaining little sort of halo, sticky outy sort of a shape today. This is just how it's come out of, the combination of having a shower and then rubbing my head with a towel today.
Yeah, it's
just
a good look.
It's quite a good look. By Providence, I quite like it today. Yeah, but
by Providence, yeah. It's aesthetically it suits you. You've got the right shaped head for it. I'm always very jealous of anyone who knows what to do with their hair.
Yeah. I mean, and by the way, this is all an illusion. I agree that like this appears to be about right for the shape of my head, but it all falls apart when I turn my head to the side. And look.
Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah,
it's no good. It doesn't work as soon as you get it from the side. So I definitely need a haircut.
Yeah.
But head on, it's at least
head on it. Yeah.
I can make videos.
It's fun. Yes, you're a two-dimensional flat entity on a computer monitor and / your television, depending on where people are watching this, and you're fine. If you could trim it a little bit at the back, not by yourself, obviously. That would lead to disaster.
I would mess that up entirely, and I wouldn't know what form of trimming is required, and it would all simply go wrong. So, no, I'm prepared to just let it grow. Everyone knows why I look this way. It'll just happen until I get to go and see a barber. Now, I apologize to any viewers who also noticed during that the perfectly presentable facial hair situation, when turned to the side, you realize it's a full neck as well. That's not good now, but that is deliberate. I'm making a video in which I want to look as haggard as I can to illustrate how long I've been locked away, and so I will shave this the minute I've done that, and then you'll get this. Then you'll get something a bit more reasonable.
Yeah.
But I haven't written the script yet because I just haven't.
Yeah, it's for a video. Oh, what do you do in the video? I don't know yet. I haven't got a script.
Pretty much. That's pretty much it. What I do, all I know is I go, I've been here for 11 months now. You know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then I'll get to neaten up a little bit, and I won't have hair in front of my mouth and
that's
in it.
Yeah. I'm constantly having to trim this area here because there are little hairy interlopers that decide, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna poke you in the gums. Why are you there? Just stop.
Yeah.
Just above the lip. Just stop right there. I grew my with this is the most boring live stream in the history of human history. Case in point, the history of human history, which is actually just a book on the history of the study of human history. It's a separate study entirely. What was I doing to? So this beard I grew. I want it's 50-50 out of necessity of just kind of. I have a very kind of Dave Gorman-y like purpose for this beard as kind of a stepping away from a person that I used to be.
Right.
But also I have a kind of a mild skin complaint where if I were to shave this off, it would still look like I have a beard because I have this red skin discoloration kind of in this area, and also a little bit here. So whatever happens, it looks like I have a beard. So I may as well just have one.
May as well have one, and then it's more deliberate. Otherwise, it'll kind of look like you've just sort of been slapped in the shape of a beard.
Yeah, a giant beard slapped me in the face, and all of a sudden my beard pulled itself off of my face and ran off, and my face is still tender. None of these things. No, you were about to say words with your mouth.
Well, they were simply reflecting what someone in the chat has said, which is that apparently I am mixed quite quiet.
Clicked streaming, so we should be back.
Okay, let's find out.
Good way to do that is to just kind of click the link in the.
Well, I've already got it open, so I'm just waiting. There it is.
There we are.
There it is. We're here. We're on. Hello.
Perfect. We're back. Sorry about that. I've got a brand new computer this week, and it just blue screened on me for the first time. So that's an.
Oh dear.
I'm going to describe as a troubling omen.
Yes.
I'm also going to. Oh no.
That's always fun, isn't it? When you're streaming, when computers do something stupid like that.
It is. It truly is. It's frustrating, but it also it happens. But you know what? We're back. We're up and running. I've turned up your volume, so people should be able to hear you better now.
Confirm or deny this, chat. How are we mixed with one another?
Well, it's as it is with anything that we do. The reception is always going to be mixed.
Hey,
Comedy bronze. I love that kind of almost Schitt's Creekian laugh without doing any kind of upwards tilt with your mouth at the corners.
Mickey Husky says, and Dave is louder, but do you mean loud, like problematically louder, or the correct volume? Whereas before I was quieter.
I'm trying to mix it so that when we talk, we're both kind of sitting in the yellow. and I did have it turn up a bit. Now it seems like you're in the yellow, but you were before kind of creeping ever so slightly into the red. But I think
I am now slightly louder than you, apparently, so feel free to turn me down.
Nudge that down a bit. Yeah.
These are all the fun things that
yes.
streaming requires.
I think we're good now. I just watched us both talk at the same time when we were both kind of very firmly in the yellow. So I think we're probably fine. But do let us know, chat, if that's just bollocks.
Hello, everybody. This is a stream that might last longer than a few minutes this time.
I suspect I will use the word cautiously, but I suspect that whatever issue it was has been dealt with. I think
by the operation of having done nothing about it.
Yeah, what I did was I turned my computer off and then I turned it on again, and that seems to have fixed.
It tends to work.
It does. Well, I say I turned the computer off. There's Mandy in the background.
Hello, Mandy in the background.
There we go. There's my head now. What was I talking about? Yeah, I'm actually just I'm going to bring up the chat on my Surface in front of me so that I can actually kind of see what we're talking about. I can also kind of watch the stream a little bit as well, so that way I can kind of monitor the chat. Let me put it on live chat. Okay, so we were playing a couple of games today. So kind of do we want to re-explain the premise of serial ports?
I think we ought. Yeah. It's been a while.
It's been 7 months. So serial ports is a thing that we do where we basically give way to any kind of common sense and just witter for so we usually play 2 video games with the theme being Saturday morning television. So obviously Sunday afternoon is the best time to do this, but we pick one game that's kind of general that anyone in the world would recognize as the brand. So like for example Batman the Animated Series, or some other game that we've done at some point.
Yes, what he means is we pick one. We pick one which, when America colonized pop culture with the internet, it made it so that's what everybody remembers about Saturday morning cartoons. Oh, by the way, we're talking about from our era. So, like, when we were kids, stuff we used to watch, and the tie-in games cut from that era, the contemporary of the time when the things were on. I mean, if someone were to bring out a Rescue Rangers game now, we might consider playing it. But generally speaking, it's the games that came out. At the time.
If we do Rescue Rangers, it will be the NES one, which I have no memory of, but exists.
I wasn't even aware there was one.
They released that Disney Saturday afternoon collection that has both NES DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, Tailspin, and Chip 'n Dale Rescue Rangers for the NES. You can play those on your PC right now on Steam if you are so inclined. And then the other half is dedicated to a game that is based on a cartoon or a show that maybe is not as well known internationally, but has its roots firmly in the British Isles. So we've done, for example, Count Duckula in No Sax Please We're Egyptian, in which we set the world record completion.
Have they accepted that?
They have not, and I'm still angry about it.
It's on video.
We don't have a timer. So we'll have to do it with a timer at some point, just for the fun of it.
It's on video. They come with a timer.
What we'll do is we'll do a stream that is just us playing old Amiga games and setting the world records on them, and we'll just keep submitting that same link.
We'll do a stream where what we do is we just replay the video of us playing that, except with a big clock.
Yeah, we'll get we'll hold a physical analog clock, stopwatch. So Count Duckula, and we've done other things. Trapdoor, yes, which I found deeply baffling and still do to this day.
The ultimate one would be if there had been a Maid Marian and Her Merry Men game, which, as far as I'm aware, there wasn't.
I mean, that was kind of the era that the BBC was making a lot of games. Like that's the era of like Dalek Attack and Monty Python's Flying Circus, and there's an Allo Allo game.
But the funny thing is that also at that time, they were still making tie-in games for the BBC Micro. Yeah. So we were playing, the Through the Dragon's Eye game at school on technology not even worth presenting on a stream. Yeah. Just like, not hardly even a slideshow.
Yeah.
And we liked it. We just liked it that way. So it's a strange time when all sorts of different bits were being used to make tie-in games of things.
I like that you didn't start in uphill, 10 miles in the snow, uphill both ways, but you definitely, by the time you got to the We Like It, that was definitely the tone.
Yeah. That's the tone that I feel in my heart. That
yes.
It does bug me that even me now would not accept the graphics in Through the Dragon's Eye on the BBC Micro. But at the time, very excited, printed it out. Still got the printouts somewhere. Because
I grew up with the Commodore Amiga in my household. We had a 500, then a 2000, then a 1200. The BBC Micro seemed very quaint to me when I'd go to school and they'd, okay, we're gonna have some computer time with the BBC Micro. So, is this a Stone Age computer? Because it looks old and the graphics are none. There is none graphics, none graphics with left orange keyboard. So we want to dive into our first game.
Yeah, let's play a game. It's going to be a tie-in with something, and I can remember what it is.
Yes.
For a minute there,
do you remember our first game?
Yes. Do you want me to say it?
Oh, I think you should.
It's time for Animaniacs.
It is. I realise I started the Super Nintendo emulator, and this of the two games we're playing today, this is the one that will be played in an emulator. But I'm realising I may not. Oh no!
Dear.
Well, it's fine because you know what the emulator's gone and done. It's only gone and ruddy crashed.
Hooray!
Yay, that's fine. But you know what? The beauty of an emulator is that you can just launch it again.
That's one of the. We don't have to wait for it to reboot very long. This is maybe we should have done a dummy run of this on the new PC because Ben's on it. Whole new streaming PC.
Oh yeah, I've had this thing since Thursday. I think I need to share my screen with you again so you can kind of see what's up. So there's that. But let me try actually launching the game. I think might be a good.
It's one of the techniques that I was
noticing that it's not appearing on the. There we go. Now it's on.
Well,
the stream.
give it a moment. There's a delay. That's all it is. Yes. Konami.
Right. So you can see that there's something nice about Super Nintendo games that all start the exact same way with the same logo. Every Konami game had that logo. Let me look at their option. What are our options? Can we play a better game? I say that I actually don't think I've played this game ever. So what this might be, that animation is delightful. This might be us reaching a part on like level 1 and then being very thoroughly stuck. The game sounds very quiet, I'm being told. Let me go ahead and...
Yes, I thought that when I checked if I just had a little listen to the stream and...
That should be a little bit better. Yeah, I don't want the game sound to be too loud so that it overpowers us, but I do want you to be able to hear it. So I've cranked it up a little bit, and if it needs to be cranked up again, let me know. I am keeping an eye on the chat. Let's start this game. Konami did a bunch of great tie-in games in the 90s, and also some not very good ones. I do have a vague memory of Tiny Toons Buster Busts Loose being quite good. I think this game has a narrative, and the narrative is, what if all of the Animaniacs coexisted in one kind of shared cinematic universe? Which is not something that the show itself did a lot.
Didn't it?
I don't think it did. I'm going to turn the game volume up a little bit more. There we go.
Okay. Well, I have a memory of this game, which is that assuming this is the same, roughly the same game as was on the Mega Drive, yes?
I would have to assume so.
Yeah. Well, yes, I had this, but I had it not on the Mega Drive. I had it on the Game Boy, and it was perfectly good. It was fully functioning on the Game Boy. In fact, to me, speaking of Game Boys,
yes, this does look quite a lot like a Game Boy Advance SP.
He's got an SP for some reason.
He's got a little SP, at least a decade too early.
Yeah. It's like a little video player SP.
Yeah. What? Oh, I mean, because that was a thing, though, right? There was the Game Boy Advance SP. They would put episodes of shows on cartridges, and you would watch them.
That's true, although it wasn't as good as... Wait, is it... Yakko is the middle one, isn't he? Yeah.
Yes.
Yakko, it's not as good as Yakko's one, because Yakko's one obviously has an analog tape deck in the bottom half of it, which I think that improves the aesthetic of almost any piece of technology.
Yeah, I do like the fact that it's a Game Boy Advance SP with a VHS cassette slot. Or maybe they've somehow figured out in the Animaniacs continuity. Have they figured out how to fit an entire movie on like one of those little cassettes that you get with answering machines?
Yeah. Probably. I mean, mini DV tapes were about that size, and you could have hours of full digital video on them.
Okay, so this appears to be a furniture removal game.
Yep.
So,
Take it.
I mean,
You didn't take it! What are you doing? It says take! Thank you. Flipping heck.
So
Push!
I've taken it. There's
Good.
Good old sexualization of a cartoon character.
Yes, that was all she was there for.
She was there for that, yeah.
So it's good that you've taken that. I'm glad that's taken, and I can see it being physically taken there. I'm not sure what it wants you to do with it now you've taken it, though.
Well,
it feels as if I think we're missing some information, is what I'm saying.
I know I'm here.
Oh, good. Right, well, that helps us at least, yeah.
It does. Maybe I'm supposed to drop it. I mean, it's Animaniacs.
I, too, am self-aware in this moment.
Someone's got to be. I'm out. I've escaped. So
Hooray!
that is the entire premise of Animaniacs. Is to just
You
escape.
pushed them out and maced them.
I mean, that video
Bit of topical humour there.
That video has been kind of a highlight of how do you do it? I took the sign. That's actually fantastic.
That is good.
I took the thing.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. How do you do a break? You can do this.
So I'm not sure if this is the same as the game that I had, because the one I had on the Game Boy appeared to be the same as the Mega Drive version. I paid no heed to the SNES version in those days.
Yeah.
And yeah, because a Game Boy couldn't render the 3 characters all mucking about on the screen. You were just one at a time. So there was a button you pressed select or something. There was a button you pressed to switch between characters when you needed different ones for different things. However, I'm seeing situations where you're having to use them all at once, such as to climb on top of each other. And I wonder how they accounted for that.
Yeah, I've just discovered I can switch to different Animaniacs.
Exactly. Is that dancing? Is that just an idle animation when they all start
dancing?
dancing?
Yeah, I think that is just Yakko's idle animation. Oh no! Now I've.
Oh dear.
Is this a Ninja Turtle situation where when I lose one sibling? Yep, that's it. When
Oh
I lose
dear.
a sibling.
Oh heck. So your sister has now simply been killed by the police. I suppose that she may have been arrested. Oh
okay,
dear.
I'm not running fast enough. That's the problem. Hello, Sandy.
That is the
Good
problem.
to see you. There we go. I've got to not get caught. So how the hell do I not get caught by this guy?
Sorry, I wasn't looking when you said hello, Sandy, and I don't know what that refers to.
Oh, Sandy's in the chat. Sandy Lester, who is
hello, Sandy.
Sandy and Sandy's partner, who when we were doing the Life Toyetic podcast, got nicknamed Jeremy under circumstances that I do not remember the specifics of, but the name has definitely stuck.
Yeah.
Well, I've just lost at this game. This is the kind of game where if
look.
someone bought it for me for Christmas when I was a kid, I'd be like, yes, it's Animaniacs, it's great. But I would keep dying at this bit, and then I would just never play it again.
I have a sense that may have been what happened when my brother bought me this for the Game Boy. But for those few, however long it took me to play it, I enjoyed that. But I don't remember this. I don't remember being up in a building. I think I was always down on the street. I don't remember. I'll have to dig it out. Lovely graphics in this, particularly the title screen.
Yeah, the animation is very pleasant. I'm pushing, by the way. Just in case there's any doubt
I see that.
as to whether I'm pushing or not. I'm gonna see if I can take the push. I wanna break the fourth wall. There we go. This is delightful. I don't think I was supposed. I think telling me to take the vase earlier was really just hey, here's a thing you can do and you should be doing it in this game.
Yeah.
I think what's going to happen, as is traditional at this point with serial ports, is I do think someone is going to have to look up the solution to how to get past this idiot.
to the basic controls of the game.
Yeah, what happens is either someone in chat looks it up, or we get frustrated and you look it up, or we just move on to the next game. But
right, well, I'm happy to do that. Just because you don't seem yet to have reached the absolute limits of patience, I am going to cast that out to the audience. If someone could look up what you're supposed to do about this guy, it must be to do with either breaking the box or the megaphone that you keep picking up, right?
Yeah,
now, it says break. Oh, it's not a megaphone. What is it? Is it a water hydrant? A fire hydrant?
It's some
perhaps.
kind of... I wonder if I can just...
But I'm wary of the fact that you haven't broken the box that says break. There must be a way to break that. Can you do like a pound the ground on it? Ah, that's it. So there'll be something in that box, I think.
There we go.
Oh, well, yes, but it hasn't solved the problem ultimately that he is still there.
Oh, no. Oh,
and I simply must insist that you break that box. I mean, what if there's something in it?
Like the secret fourth Warner.
Yes.
Griffin Warner.
No, it was just a tutorial. I apologize. All right, in that case, it's got to be to do with... You must have to hit him with that heavy thing.
I thought that, but then it just stuns him for a minute, and then he gets up again.
Well, sure. Well, maybe you never get rid of him, and maybe the whole game is just continually running from him.
Or maybe I have to jump on his head a certain number of times.
Maybe.
Because that's what I'm doing right now. Every time I jump on him, I get
6 to 8 times. Right, well, keep at it.
Okay, this might just be the... Yeah, I just jump on his head, and I get a coin. I get a coin for my troubles. Oh, he jumps after you.
Yeah.
Like, he'll jump up... There we go. What I'm doing... It's...
That's interesting, isn't it?
I don't...
Toku Prime says, just a guess, but do you have to put the toppled hydrant onto the water spouting up behind the car? That's a good guess.
Oh, yeah. And then spray it directly in the path of...
Or in the face of the bloke. Yes.
The face of the bloke, which was one of my favourite Trey Pratchett novels.
Yes, that was a good one.
I was trying to think of literally any author in...
I know, that is strange to me that you came up with that specifically. Yeah. The face of the bloke.
The face of the bloke does, I think, actually, is a little bit more...
Oh, I know. Patrick Rothfuss. Because it's a bit like the name of the wind.
Yes, there we go.
There you see.
I like that we can workshop a gag that should just be one quick dumb thing.
Yeah, and just in time, I think. I don't think they noticed.
Oh, you can jump over him when he tries to catch you, apparently, says Skinny Haney.
Well, yes, but there's only so long. You did that a couple of times. It's just that it's a question of keeping it up.
Yeah. Can't seem to
it went her.
I just got to keep jumping on his head.
Very difficult for me to avoid singing along with this, which I must not do because I'm on a delay. Oh, well done.
Wasn't Captain Jack Harkness the face of the bloke? Yes, that's marvelous.
Hey! No.
That's a solid...
Have I ever told you that I have been in front of the face of Bo? In real life. I've seen the real one, and I've, touched its case and everything.
Was that, I'm going to save my state. I do not care.
That is a good idea. An even better idea is to learn the keyboard shortcut, which I have written down here.
For SNES and X?
Yep. Wait, let me just check. Yes. Oh. The keyboard shortcut is Shift and an F key. So Shift and F1 saves it in position F1, and then just pressing F1 without Shift will load that save.
Nice. So what I've done here is I have fully murdered 66% of the Warners on the set of Alien, which is famously A, not a movie that came out in the 90s, and B, not a Warner Brothers production. So either Konami also had the Alien license at the time, or it's supposed to be one of those we resemble but are legally distinct from the Lollipop Guild scenarios.
Yes.
It's like a one-hit kill thing for a lot of this stuff.
This is a very hard game.
Yeah, I'm not enamored of it at this particular point, but that may change if something exciting happens.
Well, there was a sort of robot scarecrow guy. Look, is that exciting?
Let's find out. I can do anything. Oh, I can knock his block off.
Yeah, you can knock his blocker. Whoa! Hey! Oh, did you see that? He has a
There's an eggplant head.
an eggplant. That's the word. Yeah. What's the other word for eggplant? I feel as if here in the UK we have a separate word for it, but it's been taken over by emoji talk.
Aubergine.
Yes, aubergine. Yes.
I can't seem to. This seems to be another situation where it's like the guard where I can't actually escape.
It's a forever threat. Yeah.
Yeah. Forever.
Wow. What?
Forever,
What a game.
Forever Threat is like Forever Home, but it's where you bring home something incredibly dangerous as a pet.
Yeah.
I like that the game makes a very specific distinction between crates that you can destroy and crates that you're not. I like that we also have Star Wars and Alien kind of co-mingling.
Yeah, and you have that little bit of music that sounds like one of the Planet Suite. I can't remember which one. There's a queue of people all lining up to say the word aubergine in the chat, but of course we're on a slight delay, so that will have already happened. I'm going to move them over here so I can see the chat more immediately.
It's all down to Dot now because all of the... Oh, hello.
Hello.
Oh, this is some not quite as technically impressive, but nonetheless very, very much happening. Running away from the wildebeest in Lion King.
Yes.
Did you know there was a Beauty and the Beast game for the Super Nintendo?
I didn't know there was one for the Super Nintendo. I knew there were two for the Mega Drive.
Yes, they might actually be the same game, but I do know that one of them has you play as the Beast, and the other one has you, I think, play as Belle.
Yes, and they were both released for the Mega Drive. I don't know if two games came out for the SNES or just one or what.
I'm doing a very good job of getting brutally murdered in this game.
I've used the music from the Mega Drive one in my Beauty and the Beast podcast that I'm currently editing. Oh, in fact, it's released!
Oh!
The Serious Business podcast. Oh, dear.
Okay. Alright, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to load again. It's like it never happened. We can't do this when we're on the Amiga, by the way, because we are in...
It's a real Amiga.
It's going to be a real Amiga. It's going to be a first serial port, so we're going to be playing on the actual hardware. And that game we'll be talking about in just a few moments. I'll say just a few moments, actually talking about probably 30 to 40 minutes. But
it's whenever Ben gets sick of this.
Yeah, and I'm not going to lie, that time might be coming up pretty soon. This is the first
Feels imminent.
I've made it this far.
So I see what's happening here. This is a general science fiction land, isn't it?
It seems to Oh, now I'm dead. This cutscene's unnecessary. I already know what happens if I get it wrong.
It does provide an incentive, doesn't it, not to get it wrong.
I like that
they're
little Death Stars, but they are also bowling balls.
And they're also bouncy bowling balls, and there are TIE fighters mucking about in the background, but they're X, Y, and H shaped. I don't know why those letters in particular. X and Y, I get. I don't know why it's not a Z after that.
There's an H. What did the
Oh, maybe the H is just a TIE fighter, and then the X and the Y are supposed to be the jokes.
Hey, I got my siblings back.
Oh, well done. Do you know how?
They just came back probably because I was near the end of the level.
Taku Prime absolutely correct, saying bowling ball Death Stars are good, but not as good as the Death Egg. Absolutely right. I recommend you listen to Sonic the Comic, the podcast, Taku Prime, because we are just starting the Death Egg. This weekend, the Death Egg saga began in the old British Sonic comics, and we're looking forward to... Well, look at that!
I'm not sure I'm pro this. Oh, I guess I have to be pro this. The game's
I was wondering what that
well, during QA, we found our testers just wouldn't walk into the UFO, so we put a giant hand.
Going at
This is very TMNT, the arcade game.
Oh. I haven't played much of that. I only played the demo on the Spectrum, where it was called because of course here in the UK it was called Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles: The Coin Op.
Yes.
And that was what the demo was called on the Spectrum magazine that it came with. And I loved it.
I'm not doing very well.
No, well, never mind, eh? Look, it's not 2020 anymore, but we still have the same 2020 energy, and nobody expects much of anybody right now.
I have continues. Where are you going to put me, game? Where are you going to put me? Thank God. Oh God, could you imagine if I put me all the way back with the eggs at the beginning?
Yeah, well, perhaps you should do a Shift F1 to quickly save.
It's done.
Did it work?
Yeah, it said it saved and everything.
Brilliant.
Saved Animaniacs.oops.
That's the one. Oops.
Mandatory Konami lift scene, says
And if you
Becky Jewell.
if you wanted to regain your lost lives, you can now simply hit F1 without a shift, and it should load up that save.
No, I'm gonna see if I can keep going with just the just Rob Paulson in time.
See if you can. See if you can. No. You've
No,
let
I've
Rob
died.
down.
I've let Rob down. I'll have to. There we go. And I walked into. You know what? I get do over on that.
Absolute nonsense.
Chicanery of the highest order. Well, I forgot which Warner I was, and I did it again. So I'm gonna. This is very good. This is speedrun strats, everyone. All you have to do is just have a save state, and you don't have to replay 60% of the level. No,
It's funny because what's actually being asked of you here seems very simple.
Yeah, you'd think that, but it's not.
It's literally just a question of top, middle, or bottom.
Yeah, easy in theory. No. No.
Oh, no.
No!
That is... What a brutal game.
I would describe it as unkind. I pressed up, you absolute boon. Boon? I don't know where that's where my brain went. This is what happens when you try to live stream and you haven't had your coffee yet, and you also don't drink coffee.
Well, perhaps we ought to start, just for the purposes of this.
Yeah, Becky Joel says we're calling this one a tool-assisted speedrun. I thought I was the other Warner. I get do-over. There we go. The law says I get a do-over.
Gosh, this isn't a fair game, is it?
I cannot imagine actually owning a physical copy of this and playing it over a Super Nintendo like
Imagine. One Chop says, have you got a Mega Drive emulator on hand, but doesn't explain why.
I suspect the idea is, well, what if we played the Mega Drive version instead? Because I think One Chop might be the person on Twitter who is Genesis Yakko. I'm just speculating. Oh,
I'm unaware of that
just someone who tweeted at me yesterday when someone correctly guessed that this was one of the two games we'd be playing.
Oh.
There's no need for this. There's no need for it. Okay, so what I'm learning here is that I hate Konami. I mean, it's not.
What are you, Jim Sterling?
No. Although I do a passable impression of them, sorry.
Oh, yes.
No.
But no, I suspect Genesis Yakko is a separate person from One Chop. Purely because...
It's looking likely at this point because they've not commented on their Genesis Yakko-edness.
Well, I know, for instance, that people have multiple accounts. There isn't any evidence on the Genesis Yakko account whose it is.
Yeah.
But they're not followed by anyone I'm following, and I feel as if that would be the case were it One Chop.
That's almost certainly true. This is not fun, I have to say. Like, I do kind of want to look up this kind of the situation RE or
religious education
/T speedruns of this game.
Do you know? I've just learned something interesting on Genesis Yakko's Twitter, which is that there was a distinct difference in the style of the characters between this and the Mega Drive version. It's like they've been done by completely different art teams.
Yeah, it's
and I might prefer the Mega Drive version, if only because it's a little bit sillier and cartoonier and sort of like less like, look, we've digitized drawings of the characters, and more like, check it out, game sprites, you know?
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Did Konami make any good licensed? I know I just said that they made a bunch of really good licensed games. Is that a true statement, or am I lying?
Well, they made the inferior Aladdin, but still, by all accounts, a good game.
Capcom made the inferior Aladdin.
Oh, I beg pardon.
Because my brain also said, well, Konami made the Goof Troop game, and they didn't. Capcom made the Goof Troop game. Goof Troop is like it's a 2-player Legend of Zelda game, basically.
Yes.
Like
I remember.
I love that game so much.
What are they good for then? I wonder.
Absolutely nothing. Say it again, y'all.
Konami. What are they good for?
They made Metal Gear, and
they did.
Silent Hill's very good.
Yes. My friend Richie's been streaming that just today. Shout out to Wretched Morgan on Twitch. Go and follow him.
What a great Twitch handle.
Yes.
Anything that uses the word wretched in kind of...
Well, because his name is Richie Morgan, so he goes by Wretched Morgan.
That's perfect.
It's nice, isn't it?
That reminds
It sounds like a Halloween name that stuck. I don't know whether it's just because he sees himself as wretched or not.
Yeah. This is very, very low self-esteem. It reminds me, there was a fan... I think I may have spoken to you about this before, actually. There was a fan-made piece of crap. There's a fan-made Star Trek game for the Amiga called Solo Trek 2, where you get to name your own ship and kind of go exploring the galaxy. You have to kind of map the galaxy. And I always named my ship the USS Decrepit. Because it amused me to do so. I remember telling my mum that, and she laughed heartily for like 7 minutes.
That's good. Because it's a bit like an Intrepid class starship, isn't it? But it's decrepit.
It's a decrepit class.
It's good.
Which, you know what? If the writers of Star Trek Lower Decks had any confidence, that's the class of ship they would have used. But no.
Isn't it? Yeah.
Lower Decks
by the way,
over there yet, is it?
No.
It's very good.
I've seen it, obviously, but no, it isn't.
This is what happens when you don't release, do day and date releases. CBS.
What am I supposed to do? There's some talk in the chat about the fact that what Konami did good is they made the Simpsons arcade game and the Turtles arcade game.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And now, but interestingly, over on the Mega Drive, it didn't just have different graphics, it was a completely different game. So Aladdin all over again. So this is not the game I remembered, and that explains why it doesn't resemble it in any way.
It's a very specific era of gaming where Animaniacs the game on 2 different systems, and they are completely different.
Yeah.
That's how you end up with 2 separate Roger Rabbit games for the NES. One of which eventually gets released over here as Bugs Bunny Crazy Castle.
Yeah. And everywhere else is everything else.
Yes. Well, I'm just knocking off Warner siblings left, right, and center.
Yeah. It's a Warner murder simulation, mate.
Yeah.
This is incredible. I can't believe this was what they released.
But this was games in the 90s. This was what's the licensed games, and we're just going to make it very, very hard. And
was it though?
Yeah, I mean, this was part of the course. Like, they would just make a game. And it would be the kind. I mean, there are speedrunners of this, I'm sure, but like there are
no doubt. I remember the only game that felt like this to me was the Page Master game on the Mega Drive, which that was the only time, or maybe I ought to say the last time that I remember being so fed up with how implayably impossible it was. And still persevering with it for a very long time because we just had it. Yeah. So
you paid money. Games were not cheap.
No, well, and we didn't pay money, but it was a birthday or Christmas present or something. And and you felt you only had a certain number of cartridges, and you had to put them in. And no, I don't think we ever made it off level 1, or if we did, it was like this incredible achievement that we did. Oh, it's ridiculous, that game. And I think there were only 4 levels in it because of how meaninglessly hard it was.
Another example of a licensed video game that I think we've done on this stream is Spider-Man and X-Men in Arcade Revenge, which is just utterly merciless. I don't think it can be finished. Now I know that it can be because again I've watched speedruns of it, because it's the only way I'm ever going to get to see the end of that game is watching other people play it. I don't know what it is about these Evian bottles that make them so angry, but it's little Evian bottles that are shooting electricity. These ones are just birds. It's fine.
Oh, that's nice.
That was the game messing with me. It's animated.
Yeah, that was a fake out.
Yeah, we played, Mandy and I on the stream last night, we played Night Trap.
Did you?
Neither of us have played it before.
No.
And there's one bit near the end where, after you spent the last...
Save.
Oh yeah, that's what, Shift F1?
Oh! Yes, it is.
I'll do it now. Well, I'll do it now after I've lost a sibling, because it didn't occur to me to do it at the time. There we go. Alright.
I think I drove you to death there with my suggestion.
Oh, we've had a message redacted. Or retracted.
Oh, we have. Oh, I wish I'd caught it in time, Toku Prime, but I didn't. Go ahead and I don't know, say something to fool me into thinking that was what you originally said, and then you'll look like you said something really cool and duty all along.
I did just get the other Warners back though, so that's kind of good time. No!
Don't worry, you have a save.
You know how people do? They do a long no. You don't get long notes.
No, you don't. I think we should let's bring that in. Let's try and change culture.
Oh. No!
Was that a no? I couldn't hear the P on the end of either. That's the problem.
I did put the P on the end. I think the P it's one of those things where it just gets buried in the mix.
Yeah, I think you're going to have to do a big plosive P next time. Right on stream.
Well, if it's going to be on stream whether I want it to be or not, that's how P's work.
Yes. Lit. Little Les Mis reference in the music there. And then out of Christian goodness. So much as you may release him.
And then so it was that later, the miller told his tale, that a face that first just ghostly turned a whiter shade of pale.
I haven't heard of that before.
It's something that I did just by myself sitting on my desk at work like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a new bit. Apparently I got far enough along that the game has decided to take...
just spawned you a little bit later, I guess.
And then threw a fireball up Wacko's butt. You know what I should have done is I should have quick saved. But I'm going to continue, so this might be the spot. Nope.
No.
Arrgh! I'm not very good at this.
No, but you seem to have infinite continues. That said continue 1, and so did the previous one.
I just immediately got murdered by a very slow-moving truck that hadn't gained any... Because trucks don't just start going at like 80 miles an hour.
Murder.kill.
It's my favourite 90s techno thriller. It's up there with The Net.
Exactly. Yeah. Still 1 continue at all times.
And if you're interested in our services, check out our website at http://www.murder.kill.
Going to this website will put you on a government list. So what I'm going to do now is just reach over here and produce my little packet of McVitie's digestives. Not Viddies, McVitie's digestives. And I'm going to... I've got it sellotaped for freshness. So I'm going to take a digestive out. And I'm going to put it in my gob. Your earning continues from the slot machine, says Mickey Husky, which spins from collecting coins. Oh, I see. The slot machine at the bottom of the screen. Oh, and that's why it went before, because you didn't get an extra continue. Oh, dear me.
Oh, hey, and here's the bit. Shift F1.
Okay.
There we go.
Nice.
And I remember to save the state this time. And I'm not just leaping across blindly and waiting for planes. There we go.
I got a gummy throat there. I just did a big, horrible cough, and I think I muted my mic for it. But
yeah, I didn't hear it. I didn't
brilliant.
Hear it, so you're good.
Excellent, Nosh. I remind you that when you load your save, you only need to press F1, and you don't need to go in a menu at all.
Oh,
but don't press Shift. Don't press Shift, or it'll save over it.
That's good advice. It's
Not today, Toku Prime. I see that I didn't need to remind you earlier to listen to STCTP. You're well on top of it. No, I'm on the digestives today.
God, I wish I had digestives. There are a couple of places near me that sell them, but of course, they're not open.
No.
There's no open digestives.
Well, we all have those. Mine is red bounties. I have no supply of red bounties at the moment. You can buy a multi-pack of them, like a full box of them, of the sort that a corner shop might display and sell them out of.
Yeah.
Off Amazon.
But then you have them.
Well, I've got an idea what the next step would be once I have them. See if you can guess.
Hide them. Or just
yes, that's right. That's it. It was that one.
Just yam them. Just chuck them down your gullet.
No, it does. Yeah, what you've done is you've identified the reason I have purchased a full box of red bounties. It's too many bounties. I don't need that many. I need one every couple of months. I really don't need them very often. And
red bounties are, I think, the superior bounties. No one sells them. I can get the regular blue bounty. But I guess it's not
inferior bounty.
And the thing about the red bounty, of course, is that you can catch Pikachu just outside of Viridian Forest, but it doesn't appear at all in the blue bounty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Red bounties are dark chocolate. That's the only real difference. They're nicer.
About another dumb Pokemon joke. Did you know that in Japan it was originally just the red bounty and a green bounty?
And a green bounty,
and then they did a special blue edition. And then when that was released internationally, they just gave us the red bounty and the blue bounty. But the blue bounty is actually the green bounty localized. And then, of course, these bounties were remade for the Game Boy Advance. I'm going to keep this bit going until...
Okay, good. I'm glad of that. Keep going.
Oh, okay, good.
I now know from the chat that you got that invincibility just then by getting 3 Hello Nurses. I've never been satisfied with her being referred to as Hello Nurse.
Yeah,
that's just what they say.
Yes, as a character name, it's it's incredibly reductive.
Yeah, just call her Nurse. You know, that clearly is what her name is. It's not Hello Nurse. That's what they say. Only once in the history of anything has it been appropriate to call a character Hello and then their name, and that was Hello Spencer from the television program Hello Spencer. Apart from that, I think even he was just Spencer.
I hate this so much. Stupid robot, I'm sad. No! I wanted to quick save! No! I've got to press shift! No!
Oh dear.
It's okay, you know what? Because I'm great. I can do this. Now I'm saving. I'm very good at this.
So the red bounties, right?
Yes.
They are dark chocolate. I don't know why, but they're just better than the non-dark chocolate ones. Because I think it's that they first of all, they're slightly crisper. You know, that crack of a bit of dark chocolate can't be beat. Secondly, I don't know why it is, but they're better, and they're nice out of the fridge. So the problem is that if I bought myself a big box of them, I'd be happy putting them in the fridge to preserve them for long enough for me to eat them. But the problem is that would take up a lot of fridge. And
that's a lot of fridge space. What you need is to get one of those little mini fridges.
Yeah, and while we're in the pandemic times, like my fridge is quite stocked, and that sounds good. That sounds like I've got, you're imagining an overflowing pantry of, greens and food and stuff for nice meals. No, not even that. It's just nonsense. Like, I've got a larger than usual bottle of, mayonnaise. There's just things like that because I know I can go to the shops less. So it's not actually any better at making food out of than a normal pre-pandemic fridge would have been, where I was just able to go to the shop the day I wanted to eat something. It just means there's not room for frivolities like red bounties. It's a shame.
It truly is a luxury item.
Yeah. One Chop says the Holy Trinity, hello Nurse, hello Kitty, and hey Steve, which is a swerve away. I thought it was going to be Hey Arnold. I don't know what Hey Steve is.
Oh, Hey Steve is from Strong Bad.
Oh, of course.
Hey, Steve!
Yes, I remember now.
There we go. And now it's the Terminator in. Did I get squished by it at the same time?
Did you?
Eagle.
I simply wasn't looking.
Which is true of many people with this stream right now.
Toku Prime pointing out, Hello Kitty is canonically just called Kitty. Well, I'm pleased with that. I think that's as it should be. Yeah. Also, not a cat, but that's wrong.
I wonder
it doesn't matter.
If there are arguments over whether she's actually called Hello Kitty in the same way that there are arguments over whether Doctor Who is their name.
It's called Doctor Who, yeah. I ought to point out, when I said that's wrong, I know that Toku Prime is correct. It's just wrong. Hello Kitty is obviously a cat.
I thought Hello Kitty was a person in a cat suit.
I don't know what it is officially, but it's a cat.
Mandy, you there? Yeah. Is Hello Kitty a person? Hello Kitty is your friend.
Oh, well, there we go.
That's canonical. I hate this. I hate 50,000 versions of this. I want every copy of Animaniacs that was ever pressed to a cartridge to be thrown into the sun.
Emerald Chaos in the chat is suggesting you might want to do the middle one first if you can, and I haven't been paying enough attention to know why, but it might be worth a try.
Yeah, it's on account of the fact that this robot duck, I'm assuming it's a duck.
Not so sure.
It's got that kind of...
Yeah, I see it. I'm just not so sure. All I can really be sure of at this moment is that that digestive was nice.
I'm profoundly jealous. There was a PlayStation Animaniacs game that I'm pretty sure was released long after Animaniacs had stopped being a going concern.
Oh.
And there was also a GameCube Animaniacs game, I think, called The Great Edgar Hunt. Or it might have been the DS.
I used to watch Animaniacs every single week, and I couldn't tell you who, whatever name you just said is. Egbert?
Edgar.
Edgar.
It was like their non-copyright infringing off-brand, like, Kirkland variant of the Oscar.
I've got some Kirkland variant beans here right now. Here they are right now. Lovely big Kirkland jelly bellies.
There we go. And I've saved it. We did it, everyone. Oh, no, that doesn't count.
Goodness me. This game.
It's not great, is it?
It's a hateful game. This is a game that only has unpleasant emotions about other people.
We have now an exclusive interview with Robert Konami, the producer of the Animaniacs game for the Super Nintendo. Robert, what can you tell us about your primary kind of development ethos behind making this game? Well, that's a great question. Well, what it is I hate children and I hate any kind of enjoyment or fun. And what I really wanted to do was I just wanted to give them a bad time. I wanted them to associate their favourite characters with just anguish and agony.
Have you noticed the computer bank in the background that just says pigs on it in what looks like crayon?
I hadn't, but...
Pigs. There it is. Pigs.
What the
Pigs.
I got to the end... I just say pigs. I got to the end of the bit. Why is there not more bit?
Beg pardon? Oh, I see.
I got to the...
You mean you reached the furthest right area of the level, and it
star beyond the furthest
just presented
star,
you with a wall that you couldn't get past. Yeah, I don't know.
And a hello nurse.
Yes. Now, what's she for? I wonder. I'm going to look it up.
What is hello nurse for?
Yeah.
So part of me thinks, well, I've got to go up this ladder, but I can't get there quick enough. Oh, there we go. Boom. Alright, there we go. Quick save time. Oh, no. Oh, that's just uncalled for.
Oh, dear.
I think I discovered what my computer blue screen earlier. Oh, come off it!
Why was it?
Well, I have a Windows update sitting waiting for me right now, so I'm wondering if that has anything.
I don't think it does. I don't see how that would follow.
I'm being chased by a giant cog. I'm having massive X-Men, Spider-Man and X-Men and Arcade Revenge flashbacks.
So I've now brought up the instruction manual to this game, and I feel as if we may gain some pearls of wisdom if I have a look through it.
Sure, do it.
Let's see. Oh, when players are caught by Ralph, the security guard, you can try to rescue them from the water tower during the Brothers Studio screen. Can you? I don't recognize what screen they're talking about there, do you?
I think that might be the little interstitial screen that occurs that got me to this level because I had to choose this level.
Right. Oh, yes, probably then. There's a best ending, which you get by finding every scene from the script.
I haven't found any scenes from any script. I didn't know there was a script.
You win continues on the slot machine or by collecting 100 coins.
Oh, that's cool.
If security guard Ralph catches you on the Warner Brothers Studio screen, you will play an escape stage, where you have to outrun him.
That's a different thing. We haven't done that yet.
No. What else of interest is there?
What is the... Oh, that's just cheap. That was cheap and uncalled for. We might be switching to Hugo at some point in the next 10, 15 minutes.
Yes!
The great thing about Hugo is you can just yell at me and I'll choose which direction it goes.
No, yeah. No, there's no information about what the nurse does. She's just a character.
I suddenly want there to be Twitch Plays Hugo. We've had Twitch Plays
There's a page. There's a page explaining the slot machine, and it tells you what happens with various combinations. But it doesn't do that in with pictures. It just does it in words, which means that as you're sort of flipping through the manual, out of the corner of your eye, you can see slappy, slappy, slappy. You gain 50 coins. So, yeah, slappy, 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 you gain 50 coins.
Slappy, 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 you gain 50 coins.
Yeah. Or it's a way that you can earn a bit of money on the side. I'm sure there's somewhere online that you could...
Gig economy.
Yeah. But, slappy, 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 you do get 50 coins.
I mean, that's a BDSM-themed OnlyFans account, surely.
Yes.
I want to not be whacked by these falling cogs.
Well, we can't all get what we want.
Although Dot Warner and the Free Falling Cogs would be a pretty great band. Well, I've got something. I've got three of Slappy's nephew. No idea what that does.
No. What's his name? Skippy?
Something.
Skippy something. 3 Skippies, you gain 20 coins. Ah, you know that time you got your siblings back randomly?
Ooh.
That was because you got a Yakko Wacko Dot.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so that's just constantly doing stuff and seeing if you're going to get anything out of it.
It's kind of an in-game chaos generator.
Chicken boo, chicken boo, chicken boo, the longest line. You double your coins with that.
I'll take that. Considering that this machine is triggered by coin collecting, the ones that just give you more coins, it's just, well, you get several more spins of the wheel. Don't growl at each other, cats. Hey! Excuse me. I have an allergic reaction to this level.
Flipping heck. I can't imagine playing this. This would have been roughly concurrent with when, games like The Lion King came out, which were tie-in games that were just far more sane than this. Despite what people who got stuck on level 2 will tell you. They just weren't very good at it.
I was one of those people who got stuck on level 2, thank you so very much.
Oh, I got stuck on level 2, but it just was fine. You just kept playing it.
Just saved over I got slightly further on this level state. It's dangerous having them assigned to the same key and having shifted and modified.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is. I mean, I'm sure you can redefine keys. It is an emulator after all.
Is it truly my place to redefine someone's role in life?
No, but the keys on your emulator might be. Let's not overshoot.
Shit, okay, there we go. Saved it. Just in time to not get cogged in.
Well done.
That's a good save spot. Something's back. Nothing. That's a good save spot, surely.
Yes.
There we go. This is going
Wait.
Jonathan Mineur says, "This is madness." I probably mispronounced your last name, Jonathan. I do apologize.
Yeah, probably, because you said it as manure.
I have it on good authority that the antagonist of the Back to the Future movies does not like Jonathan. It's bad.
Okay, so
sorry.
the antagonist about Biff
Yep.
doesn't like Jonathan.
Give it a minute. You'll get there. You'll get there.
It's that I can't remember his second name, isn't it?
It's Jonathan's second name is the one that you want to be focused on.
Okay.
Go up. I've been to the Warner Brothers Water Tower, and there are considerably fewer balloons and rideable railing systems attached to it than one might expect.
That's a shame. They should change that in light of the release of this game.
They should. This game really should have been a massive influence on the way that the Warner Brothers studio conducts their business. But yes, I did not know until I first came to visit LA that the Warner Brothers Water Tower was a real thing, and that a lot of the stuff in Animaniacs was referencing actual studio stuff.
I somehow did know that the water tower was a real thing, and I can only imagine that the reason I knew that was perhaps because on the episode of What's Up Doc where Animaniacs premiered here in the UK, they just told you. Now, we can find that out because the whole series of What's Up Doc, believe it or not, is up on YouTube.
Oh, I did not know that. That's nice.
Yeah, and it's well worth revisiting. It's genuinely incredibly funny and well produced. It's very, very good. So for anyone not of my age and country persuasion, What's Up Doc was a Saturday morning magazine program in which 3 presenters, just mucked about in a studio, and during it they played cartoons that were Warner Brothers-y, such
I've
as
just
this
realised
one.
this entire Serial Ports is accidentally What's Up Doc themed.
Oh, is that what Hugo was on?
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Well, I'll discuss my link to Hugo, such as it is, when we get there. But interesting. Okay, so yeah, and they had a big, lavish studio full of all sorts of interesting things, and they very quickly, as in within a couple of episodes, realized that it was less interesting to just be like, "Hi kids, now watch this cartoon," and more interesting to be a sort of surrealist sketch comedy show instead.
Yes.
And so that's what they did. And they were honestly really funny. Which was more impressive because of the fact that the 3 presenters were not comedians. They were presenters, recognizable from other stuff. One was from Blue Peter, one was from the radio, and one was from children's BBC, The Broom Cupboard, and also Bad Influence, the tie-in, the video game tie-in show at the time. And they just were really funny. They just were. But also, they had with them this other guy who was extremely funny and who I have reason to believe, without having any proof of this, might have been the bloke. Oh, what's the guy's name? I should know this as a Manchester resident. What was the comedian who had a big head on that looked like a sort of 1920s cartoon character?
Yeah. It was like Frank something, wasn't it? Or am I imagining?
Yeah. Well, I know that the film was Being Frank, that was sort of vaguely based on him. Frank Sidebottom.
There we go.
And now that's not his real name. I think his name was Chris something, but I just made that up. Frank Cyborg. I can't remember why I think this, but I think he was a regular member of the What's Up Doc team. Maybe because he was on an episode I saw, and then also all the other characters were similar to that. But I don't know. But when whoever it is I'm thinking of that I think may have been him was on it, things got really disturbing level funny. Like there was one that we were watching quite recently on YouTube where they have this guy who's just this kind of screaming homunculus made out of wool. and he's just like a bloke just covered in scarves and going, "Oh! Oh!" and just screaming it and going up to the camera and going, "Oh!" and being genuinely disturbing. And everyone around him is just their act is that they don't think anything's weird about this, and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, let's do this activity." And all the children are being forced to eat wool, and there's no point to it, there's no punchline to it. It's just this surrealist nightmare comedy sketch presented as a normal part of children's TV that morning. Yeah. Oh, it's so good. You gotta watch What's Up Doc. Honestly, get it watched.
You have to send me a link to that YouTube channel. But
yeah, and particularly that bit.
What's Up Doc was very very much informed what things like SMTV Live would be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just remember What's Up Doc as being the show that Animaniacs and Batman the Animated Series ran on. So
that's where I was getting to. Yes, yeah. Batman the Animated Series, Animaniacs, and then presumably they'd play some Looney Tunes and whatnot. So, right, all of this started when I said that based on it being on. Yes, so I bet they, in introducing the cartoon, said that the Warner Brothers Tower is a real thing. I bet that's why I knew. The end.
You know what we got there in the end? I'm going to save my
Yes.
space because the game has decided to deign me with a temporary save spot.
Oh. To deign you.
It's a great Dane.
Yes, now you're a Dane.
Do they do
Exciting.
cards you can get if someone you know gets knighted? Like, you get a hallmark and get a... Now you
They
are,
might.
Now you
Yeah,
are.
I don't know if they do one where now your history has been rewritten so that you're from Denmark.
They should.
They should. Maybe if they did, then that would become something that was possible to happen. No, Toku Prime, you didn't get that on Live and Kicking, and that was primarily the difference
Yeah.
and that really was primarily the difference between Live and Kicking and What's Up Doc.
Yeah, because Live and Kicking was mostly... it was sillier. It was fun and it was reverent, and they did not Live and Kicking. Sorry, I'm thinking about What's Up Doc and SMTV Live. Like SMTV Live thoroughly destroyed Live and Kicking. Like Live and Kicking stopped being produced because they didn't have, they couldn't compete.
Really?
Yeah, so that's the reason why Live and Kicking went off the air. And then the BBC tried 60,000 on the variants.
Yes. What was it next? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. What came after Live and Kicking?
Cannot remember.
Fully booked?
Might have been fully booked. Were Dick and Dom ITV or
No, Dick and Dom were BBC. Dick and Dom. Not only was Dick and Dom in the bungalow, BBC, but they had been CBBC presenters together for a long time. Yeah, they got the Dick and Dom in the bungalow sort of thing. That was on the CBBC channel though, but it got so popular, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It was really good, like Live and Kick. No, sorry, like What's Up Doc level good. That was how funny it was, and that transferred to BBC One, and No, I know what happened. They were offered SMTV when what's his face and Thingamabob went to do
and or Deck.
Yeah, when they went to do Saturday evening sort of entertainment. Dick and Dom were offered the job, but they were also, in order to keep them, the BBC offered to put Dick and Dom in the bungalow on BBC One, not just CBBC. So they took that, and that's what they did. And I'm glad that's what they did. I'm sure they probably wonder if they ought to have done the other thing, but they were on BBC for a while, and they were the last Saturday morning children's magazine show, because after Dick and Dom in the Bungalow, the reason it was axed was because someone at the BBC went, well, we need that precious Saturday morning slot to put a load of tedious cookery shows on. And still to this day, I believe I saw the other day reference to the fact that Saturday Kitchen still exists. I can't promise that that's true, but if that, and nor can I promise that that's the name of the thing that was on Saturday mornings, because of course I was refused to have anything to do with it.
Tedious cooking show.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a name that they went with for a while, to change it at some point. Yeah, I am livid still in my bones, in my marrow, in my Jones, and in my Sparrow that the very fact of Saturday morning children's TV is now just gone, because now it has to be cookery shows which are for boring idiots. You might as well put Brexit on the telly, as far as I'm concerned.
How to cook a Brexit.
Yeah. I'm seeing if I can put together a pun based on Brexit and the name of some breakfast TV show that has breakfast in it. Can't think of one, so forget that. Well, that's a breakfast cereal. I mean an actual television program, like a breakfast news, Brexit news. But that's not anything.
That's just Brexit.
That's just
Just
Brexit.
the news.
Whoa, that is just the state of the UK at the moment. So never mind that.
How do you feel better now that the UK is out of the EU? Do you feel emboldened and more independent, more stronger as an individual and indeed as part of your great nation?
So no, obviously, there is no upside to Brexit. Even the best version of Brexit, including the best version of like the dream version of Brexit, people imagined would happen, which was never going to happen. That would always have been a bit less good than not. However, I have to admit there's a certain relief involved in the fact that we have now done it, and I can still buy food. For a while there, it genuinely was likely that wouldn't happen. However, the tailbacks have started and the port problems have started, so I don't know what level of food I'm going to be able to purchase from, like, you know, as time wanes on and the year continues. We'll see. But there's a... So no, I'm unhappy about it, but it isn't the devastation it could have been had Boris lost the negotiations. I don't know what it was about Boris that made him want to win that the country can't eat or do anything anymore. Like, the news today is that... or no, not today. I think it was yesterday. But the recent news is that when offered... the EU just did offer him, you know, without any caveats, as far as we know, you can have it that musicians from the UK are allowed to tour the EU, you know, without needing to do anything visa-based or anything like that. And he just turned it down. Didn't gain anything by doing it, didn't lose anything, or wouldn't have lost anything by accepting it. He literally just turned it down because it was their idea.
Yeah. What on earth was his thought process?
He doesn't have thought processes. That's not one of the things Boris has. No. So yeah, musicians now can't do that. I don't know what... There'll be a way for them to tour Europe, but I don't know what it is, and it would appear neither do they, because they're very cross about it. So, the big Brexit. There we go. The big Brexit. That's the answer I was looking for. Thank you, Zet and Pelly Gaming. Yeah. Mickey Husky concerned that it's all gone political. I share that. Zet and Pelly says the only good thing about Brexit is all out a lot of people. I guess, like, maybe. There we go. See, Jonathan, sorry, you're going to have to give us a clue. How is Minna pronounced? But do Tories need an excuse to take food away from people? There you go.
I feel like I just saved over a better save.
Oh dear.
That's
yeah, Zet and Pelly, Toku's right. There is still, you know, children can watch television in the morning. And of course, just watching people stab each other on YouTube anyway. But it's on dedicated channels, and it doesn't. It's no good.
It doesn't feel part of. Like having
Saturday
CBBC on its own network doesn't. It feels like it's separate from.
Yeah, it's not culture anymore. When it was that a couple of hours after school and Saturday mornings, and if you were lucky, Sunday mornings, belonged to children, and that's just who owned them. That's when
I watched Power Rangers and, you know, real Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles and Hero Turtles, you know.
Oh, it's pronounced Minu.
Menu.
Of course it flipping is. What are we doing, Minu? Of course it's not.
I'd apologise then for my what is otherwise a very funny Back to the Future joke.
Yeah, I still don't get it. His name's Biff. What's that got to do with?
He hates manure.
Oh, does he? Oh, you see, I sufficiently don't remember the Back to the Future. I guess it's time I watched it.
They're good movies, and they just released a 4K box set for the 35th anniversary.
I don't have a 4K TV, so that's no use to me. But
I'd say come over and borrow mine, but there are at present no fewer than 2 logistical issues with that as an option.
Yeah, I'm utterly not going to.
Yes.
I'm not even going to come round and watch it on your TV. No. Utterly not. I'm flat out not going to.
It's unlikely to happen.
3! I'm going to add a third one, which is that I just don't like going on planes.
You ride a boat? Ride a barge? You thought about that?
It seems like a long way. Wouldn't that take weeks?
Oh, it would absolutely take weeks, yes. If you'd get here, that's the important thing.
I don't know if that is, to me, the important thing. I feel as if I would just not do that. This is why, even when I was allowed on plane, and planes were allowed in airs,
And planes were allowed on me.
I never went to Disneyland, despite wanting to, or Disney. I've never been to a Disney park, despite it being right up my alley in a number of different. Because I can't imagine the level of joy that would make it worth my being on a plane for that long. And it would be cancelled out. Like I would be having the fun while going, well, this doesn't count as fun because I'm going to have to go on a plane, and there's no other alternative. At least before you get on the plane there, you can nope out of it.
Yeah.
But when you're there is no escape unless you go on a plane.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends on what's happening on the plane. What if there were fun plane times?
It's difficult. I can imagine in my wildest, most debauched fantasies, fun time on a plane, but nothing possibly within the realm of realism. No, definitely, I can't think of anything that would be good enough to make me enjoy a plane ride. I've been on a plane. I've been on 4 planes in my life, and they were... Wait, have I? Yes. And they were to and from France.
You know there's a train that does that?
Yes, and we never pursued that for whatever reason. It would outrun us massively. There'd be no competition. But no, I never pursued that as an idea because I don't know why. It did interest me, but it didn't. Oh, I know. It was because we didn't drive in those days, so we would have had to get there, and you kind of have to go on a. Yeah, I think you have to put a car in it, don't you?
You do. You kind of drive your car in one end and then drive it out the other end. It's kind of like a snake eating its own. It's the train is the snake, and you are the frozen mice that have been purchased from a nearby independently owned pet shop.
Right. Yes. And stuffed up the arse of a snake, which then regurgitates it in France.
Yeah. Or if you want, the snake eats you with its mouth and then slithers backwards to Paris.
Oh, okay. That's where I was getting confused. Yes, it's because it's the fact that the head of the snake. I mean, for all I know, you go in the front of the train and then it goes on a big turntable like Thomas the Tank Engine. Yeah. I don't know.
It's entirely possible.
A board game, which had a big turntable, was great.
So I think we're going to switch games now. Hopefully on the Discord you can now see the Amiga. Can you see that?
Oh, I can't. Oh, that's Amiga as hell. I'm looking at Workbench.
It's also because of the adapter I use stretched to widescreen, but fortunately the stream will not see it stretched to widescreen.
I'm very glad to hear that. I'd have had words
to say about that. So the adapter I have, because it's taking a composite signal and converting it to HDMI, the adapter just assumes, well, the signal's going to be widescreen, and if you need it to not be widescreen, you can change the settings on your telly. So we're not connected to a telly.
Viewers, I am looking at an array of drawers within drawers full of games. Oh my goodness, word gracious me!
In fact, I'd
forgotten the big icons you used to have for games. Oh, you used to put them on your desktop if you had a hard drive. Ooh.
All right. Yes.
And no, if you didn't, you just put the disc in and they appeared automatically on the desktop. Workbench, I'm going to go as far as to say, much better than Windows.
I miss Workbench so much.
I bet there's a Windows mod that makes it work better.
Well, there almost certainly is. I know that there is Stardock make an application called Window Blinds that lets you kind of re-theme what Windows looks like. And I don't use it now because I think I remember at the time it being kind of a memory hog. But my memory at the time is that when I was using it on my very first PC when I moved to America, was that it was... This is the joystick, by the way.
Look at that.
Was that it was a big old memory hog. But it was nice to be using Windows in a way that looked like... So I don't know what this person's saying because he's from the Netherlands, I believe. He's Danish.
On mean.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, that fits nicely with all that Dane stuff earlier, doesn't it?
Yeah. So I've gone ahead. Oh no, I'm about to get hit by a train. So why don't you explain what the hell we're looking at?
Okay, here's the thing. I kind of don't know. This is what I was going to say before.
Yes.
Hugo. Here's my memory of Hugo.
Yes.
When I was a very impressionable child, God, look at that beautiful CRT look that we have. I don't think you should get the HDMI out. This is fantastic. This is what it's meant to look like. Anyway, so back in the day on children's television, there were phone-in games, and what would happen is you'd have. I mean, the one that I really remember was there was a drawing of a kitchen. There was a dog holding out a frying pan, and a child would phone in and shout, left, 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 right, 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 catch, left catch, right, right, catch. And what they would be doing is that the game, which was sort of done on computer software, that it wasn't a game, it wasn't like a proper computer game, it was just made for this. And so the cutout dog would just move left and right on this background that was all animated, very simple animation. It was more of an animation. And food would be falling down off a... I can't... What is it? Was there a cat knocking sausages off the top of a cupboard or something?
I have a vague memory of that. I remember this. I remember... I think they took... Oh, was that the growling cat? Is that the cat? I have a vague memory of a Bitmap Brothers platform game that was kind of reverse engineered.
Really? Oh, yeah. Well, but wait, I'm getting to that.
Yes.
So, in these really primitive games, your dog would move left and right as you shouted left and right, and you would shout catch to catch food that was falling into his pan. And sometimes, if you were lucky, you would get the golden bone. Well, I never found out whether, in those days, it was done by some kind of voice recognition software or just that someone was playing it and pretending to be doing what the kid said, which is what I suspect it was. I don't know. Maybe they couldn't see the game and they were just pressing the buttons based on what the kid said. I suspect they were just playing the game roughly based on what the kid said, because sometimes they would help out a little bit. Well, later that evolved. You know, you would eventually there was a thing where there was like a caterpillar going around a maze, and the caterpillar would be trying to collect that it just became Pac-Man basically. The caterpillar or whatever it was trying to eat apples with the sound that went exactly like that.
That I remember, yes.
The Christmas version was, and that was because they were mince pies. No, Christmas puddings. And I found a bit of that on a video that I was digitizing a few months back. I'll have to see if I can find a clip. But anyway, this was the ultimate evolution of that. We eventually got the Hugo games. And same thing, someone would phone in and shout instructions. Here's my connection to this. I basically don't remember it at all. I remember what Hugo looked like. That's it. This game's not familiar to me. I feel as if this isn't the one.
I remember seeing this on TV and thinking that this was absolutely the hottest of hot shit. Because it was a video game you could play on your TV, rather delightfully ignoring the fact that actually that is just how TVs work. You plug your computer or your game system into.
That is how you played them, yeah. But this one was broadcast. As long as you were the lucky child to have done whatever obscure thing it was you had to do to become the person playing it.
Yeah. So I remember watching this. It was either What's Up Doc or Gimme 5, actually, I think. Had this.
Don't remember Gimme 5. Was that on Channel 5?
That was actually on ITV. It was another... in fact, my sister won a copy, to kind of dovetail back into a conversation we were having earlier. My sister won a copy of Beauty and the Beast on VHS in a call-in competition.
So and I now, having Googled it, now I know that Gimme 5 is the one with the rubber sheep.
I don't want to hit the red ones. I've been avoiding them, thinking I don't want to hit them.
That's right. Use your Sonic 3 powers.
Yes. This is just Sonic 3. It's a perfect translation of Sonic 3. But yeah, people would call in. One lucky kid would get to basically control the game using the dial pad on their phone. And so I think you would either hear them pressing the dial pad or yelling left, right, left, 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 and then trying not to swear on national television. because that's the thing children can't resist. And I remember, God, it would have been about 2000, 2001. A friend of my parents gave me basically every Amiga game he'd ever owned. I think he'd moved on from the Amiga at that point. And so he just gave me this big box full of floppy disks. And one of them was just it was a 5-disc game, I think. And it was labeled Hugo.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what this is, but I recognize that name. I wonder if ... And then, I didn't make it very far, did I? And then, yeah. This was the game. So, this Amiga that I have now has every Amiga game ever released installed on the hard drive. And I checked to see if it was on here, and Hugo is on here.
Well, so, of course it was, if it's got every game.
Yeah. So, the fun thing about Hugo was originally... the hardware for Hugo was a custom-made Amiga 3000 that was made specifically to run this. So the home version is basically a recreation of a game that was built on Amiga hardware. So I think what we should do right now is I'm gonna put the joystick out of view, and we're gonna have you can see the screen as it's happening. Right? You're not relying on the YouTube.
I can if I so click.
We're gonna fully do this ITV style, and
yes,
and you're gonna yell directions at me.
Yes. Now I am on a slight delay even from you, so let's find out if. Am I supposed to be doing anything yet? I didn't.
No, this is just the loading screen.
This is just the loading screen.
Yeah.
So I'll just mention that I googled what the origin of Hugo is, because here we only knew him from What's Up Doc or whatever it was. Okay, here we go. I'm all right for now. I don't know what that 6 arrow means.
It means if you want to go right, that's the opportunity to do it. 4 is left.
Oh, left. Oh, left. Left.
All right, you have left.
Oh no. Okay.
So the sack is good.
Okay.
The sacks of gold in them, I guess.
Oh, jump. Do I have to say jump?
No, he just does it.
Okay, cool.
And now you can go right if you
right.
You've missed that one, but there is another one coming up. So
right. Interesting that it says 6. Oh dear. Oh no. Left.
You are
left the catch.
you are living the dream of the early to mid 90s.
It's great. Yeah. Right.
Oh, you were slightly too late with the right there.
Oh, I see. Slight delay.
Yeah.
I looked it up, and this was originally what we know. It just was in their country. It was a phone-in game show, exactly as we know it.
Yeah.
I wonder if these 6s and 4s are like...
That's the keypad.
Right. Because you were supposed to press that on your phone.
Yeah. Also, the keyboard keys on the number pad on the Amiga also do this, but I'm using a joystick.
Lefty, left. I don't know when I'm supposed to say left.
If the arrow appears on the screen, that's your prompt that you can do it if you so choose. So now,
right.
For example.
Right.
I wonder if when the kids called in, if they let them do a little practice.
Right. Yeah, I wonder that as well.
You have to hope, because otherwise there's just going to be a lot of kids crashing and being sad.
Yes, but left. Yes, but in those days, it was all right when they lost them, because
they still want a copy of Beauty and the Beast on VHS.
Exactly. No, I want to take that back, because I've realised that it sounds like left. It sounds like what I'm saying is, these days they get participation trophies, and that's not what I suppose in a way it was what I'm saying. So instead, I'll simply...
I'm not saying that.
Right. Yeah, so instead, I'll simply say that it was then, and probably remains all right, for children to simply lose television quizzes. Right, I guess. Yeah, we were left. What actually I'm referring to is the fact that I was talking to somebody recently about. Thank you. About watching old kids like quiz show TV,
Yeah.
and how incredibly brutal it was, and how it was genuinely like the questions were really, and it was really, really, really difficult and brutal. And I now as a grown up wouldn't be able to compete in them.
Yeah.
And that seemed to soften a little bit with time. But yeah, so that's what I was trying to refer to, but also I was trying to concentrate on.
Matt Speaks Words says, just listening to Dave going right, left, right, you talking about grab it, rabbit. Oh,
Grab it, rabbit. That was one.
Yeah.
That okay. Grab it, rabbit. Let's
Grab It, Rabbit.
look that up.
It sounds familiar.
Grab It Rabbit was from Live and Kicking, or at least it was presented by Zoe Ball. Oh, am I meant to be playing this?
I've kind of just started doing it, but I also know that
Good.
Eventually you run out of fuel, and I don't know where you get fuel from. 'Cause it's
Okay,
not-
I'm looking at Grab It Rabbit, and yes, it's one of these indeed, yes. The one I remember was the whatever the dog catching food in a pan one was. Yes, where do you get... which Hugo game is this? And I could look it up.
This is the first Hugo, which has a very long Danish name that I cannot remember.
Sure.
Let's look at the map. I suppose I'm supposed to be flying around this mountain. Because you turn flying into it. I've seen it. I never want to see it again. Casually quoting Day of the Doctor because I can. I did that. I did a stream on my Twitch channel a week or two ago that lasted 3 full hours, where I used that weighted preferences generator on the internet, where you put in a list of like, oh, I'm going to put in every Marvel movie, and then it has you pick, do you prefer this one or that one, like A or B,
No.
A or B, and I did that with every single televised Doctor Who story, and mathematically, my favorite story is Day of the Doctor. My least favorite is the Sarunga Conundrum.
I don't know the Sarunga Conundrum.
It's the Jodie one where there's that itty bitty like Stitch eating the spaceship.
Oh, right, of course,
And,
yes.
and the pregnant man.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yes.
how I'm supposed to progress on this one.
I've yet to find any instructions or anything that can help.
It makes me wonder. I wonder if there's something on the Hall of Light. Let me see if I can bring up. I mean, I don't know why. Even if I find the manual on the Hall of Light, it's not going to help me because it will be in Finnish or Danish.
Oh, yes, I suppose it will be, won't it?
Boobity doop. I do think the plane is supposed to be kind of it. I don't think there is actually supposed to be a.
Oh, you just
ending.
continue until you die.
Yeah, it's like a. So there are a couple of Hugo games. There's a Hugo Partnier Eventier, and then Hugo Partnier Eventier 2, and then there's a third one that is just called Hugo. But I'm looking at them now.
I've been distracted by being on a page on Lemon Amiga, which shows the game, the Scam Trollton Hugo, so it starts with S, but also just, a list of other Amiga games starting with S, and a screenshot of them all. So I've become mesmerized by screenshots of old games, and I'm going to tab out from that.
I am also looking at that exact same thing right now, but I'm looking at it on Hall of Light instead of... yeah, these are all of these little compilations of games that appeared on the Hugo Game Show. It's listed as a Danish interactive children's TV game show. Scam Trollton Hugo, which initially ran on a custom Amiga 3000 based system. There was an English version in development, but it was never released. Do we I know that there's like 3 separate Hugo releases, and I know I have at least 2 of them. So let's go back and look at the other Hugo.
Yes.
Hugo 2-Fi, it says here.
Okay.
So let's see what this Hugo is.
Too high, too high.
This is culture, Mandy. This is our culture. This is our heritage. See, it's the second one, you can tell, because it says OSA 2 in the corner, I am assuming. But the menu, the interface looks exactly the same. But this will have different games on it. I have no idea what you just said. Oh, this is different.
Well, that's what we were anticipating.
Oh, cool. So you have to jump over the bear traps, or you do Hugo an owie. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the other the other Hugo game I probably have also, because it will be listed under S. Well, that's magical.
Wow!
You know what? These are all fair
Pass
points.
an old
Hugo.
email and call apples.
I can't disagree with Hugo, largely because we don't share a common language.
No. Okay, hip A over that. Hip A up to them. Hey, nice. Oh no!
I can see how they've created, like, I know the techniques that they've used in Deluxe Paint to do some of these visual effects.
Yes. Hopefully we'll see a nice morph in a minute. He'll morph into something.
This is the most he said in... There we go. Don't jump, don't land on it, you dingus.
You may be the dingus in this situation. You did a jump.
Zet and Pelly Gaming say that they need to dart off, but how often do these guys stream? It's a great question.
Well, yes, it's
we hope.
Do we know?
I think that we want to aim for, except for where one of us has a prior engagement, do we want to just continue to aim for our old schedule of Sundays, so the Sundays where we can do it?
Yeah, the Sundays where we can do it, because there is a downside to weekly, isn't there? And that downside is that we have to do it every week. Then.
Yeah, which means I have to get up at 8 o'clock every Sunday.
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, I say, how about we say that it's every couple of weeks? That suits me actually, because I do a Patreon hangout every other Sunday evening anyway, and so I'd rather do that on off weeks and this on off weeks. If you see what I mean? And also.
Yeah.
Also, I'm unavailable next Sunday because I'm booked on a podcast. So at the very least, it won't be next Sunday, but it probably will be the Sunday after that.
I think we can average out that it will most likely be every other Sunday, and if we end up streaming on a Sunday where we wouldn't ordinarily be doing it on that schedule, we can very excitedly say, "Hey, guess what we're doing this Sunday?"
Yeah.
Haven't you just meshed this? See, this is utterly unfamiliar to me. I know some of the Hugo games, some of the other Hugo games did make it onto Gimme 5 or what have you. But
was that the sound from the start of Zool 2? When that finger pressed that button.
I think it might have.
I'll listen again when it happens again.
Why did Zool never get a Saturday morning cartoon? We could have played that.
Oh.
That would have been a great in to play Zool on the stream.
Listen.
On a genuine Amiga as well, by the way. We would be able to do... Yeah. I think I still want to get the... I'm going to get the SCART lead, mostly for my own edification, to just increase picture quality for when I'm playing on the Amiga.
Yeah.
This one I remember. This one I definitely remember.
This is more familiar to me. I wonder if they did do this one. Yeah. Oh, flipping it. How did you see that coming?
See, so
oh my god.
Wow.
Oh.
That's an interesting music.
Okay.
He's angry with us, I'm sure. Is that literally what he's saying, Toku Prime? Is he talking about having a bad hit? I missed it. You gotta be quicker than that.
Hippane.
Wow! Mika puto!
Oh, that's the implication as he fell all the way to China.
Oh, yes, okay.
Alright.
And is that what he says? Wow! I fell through the whole earth, or whatever. Bastard! How do you know when that big hole is coming up?
I can see it coming on the horizon, so I just press up.
Oh, only just.
Yeah, it's very skin of the teeth.
Hmm.
Same with getting this. The first 2 times I tried to get those bags, I missed.
Oh no, this is too hard for children to do on television. I can tell you that much.
Even with a very slight delay. Do you not want to do this one?
No, no, I don't.
I can't say that this is a game that I would play
No.
were it not for the cachet of being, oh, this is the one off the telly.
Yeah, no, nobody would ever play this if it wasn't for it was a TV program. Yeah. And a quite good like recreation of what you do in like this to me is very familiar and looks right.
Yeah.
Ei muuta kuin mäkeä vaan!
Hugo's made some very salient arguments there concerning. There's something very, very pleasing about the way that his neck hair, the back of his neck, moves as he runs. You see that?
Yes, but I don't share your enthusiasm.
For neck hair? Well, so long, Hugo. You didn't like.
Bye,
You didn't
Hugo.
like his neck hair, and he couldn't live with it.
Yeah, good.
So he went to China.
Puto!
Shave your neck. Yes, it's sort of it's like a little tail of hair that's waggling back and forth, and I'm not sure at all that I like that.
Hugo's hair is very 80s.
Hmm.
It's mullety.
Metsä!
All right, so it's your turn. So you're gonna have to give directions. I will say
Right.
that
Okay.
You do duck under this.
Oh dear.
That was
really.
that was me. And the thing is, it's not giving you the on-screen prompts this time. So I think with this one, it's just a case of
Let's just see what happens.
yeah.
Yeah, well, you would, Andreas. It is Danish, I think. Okay, jump, hippie. Oh.
That little. I'm gonna have to try to anticipate the lag and anticipate.
Well,
your
no,
moves.
I need to anticipate the lag. So let's. So I'll. You just do it at the right time, and I'll try and anticipate the lag. So, jump. Yeah, jump.
Oh, I did the
Oh. Yeah, well done, jump. Oh, too late. That was me. That was definitely me. I don't think this is going to
This
work,
one
but let's
is
try
less-
again.
This one is less calibrated for the delay of the stream. The other one, I think, if we can get through this, when you're running along the edge of that mountain.
Yeah, do you know what? You get through this, and I'll join in on the mountain.
All right, let's do that.
Otherwise, we'll never get there.
Oh,
What a frustrating television program this must have been.
on the other hand, it must have been a lot of fun to watch.
Joku ystävällisesti laskea minut
Because you're just
tästä
Yes.
watching a
alas?
troll be tortured, a Danish troll be just full-on murdered.
Jippi! Toimiva vie toimii!
Yeah, they never got
Yeah, I
around
was-
to releasing the English language version of this, which I think is a
Nyt
shame,
jollekin
because I would love to know what deeply hilarious things Hugo the Troll is saying right now.
Yes, I bet they were very annoying. I prefer the Goblins approach, where they were just tick dow doo tick dow tick doo.
There's also the Animal Crossing approach, where for the first few games,
Hei!
as the dialogue was appearing on screen, they would just say the letters very quickly, and they seem
Yes!
they've stopped doing that now. They don't do that in New Horizons.
No.
Hippei!
Oh no, I'm gonna land on the
Hippie is Finnish for jump, according to Google.
And Andreas
And
was talking about watching the show on children's TV in Denmark when he was a kid.
Yeah, so I said, no wonder, because it's a Danish show. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a Finnish show. I don't know.
Could be both.
Hippei!
Yeah, now I just mentioned the Goblins games, and they were a great example of watching the dying animation. Did you ever play those, Ben?
I did
Probably.
play. Okay, so we're about to hit the mountain. I did play. Oh no, not yet. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't listen to the Zool noise.
That's why I was talking over it. That didn't help. What was the question? I'm sorry.
Had you played the Goblins games?
I played the demo of the third one, which was just called Goblins.
It was. Well, it was
With
called
each
Goblins
one, they
3.
reduced the number of eyes in the name.
And indeed, goblins on the screen, yes. Okay, so I want you to play Goblins 2, Goblins 2 and Goblins 3. Goblins 1, I don't really care about. That one,
This is you.
I never really rated it. Oh, okay.
All right.
I will say it as soon as it's visible on my screen, and we'll see what the lag does to that. Left.
Oh, if I jumped then, you would have died.
Jump! Ooh. Left. Okay. Jump! Okay, not to left. Not too bad. Jump. Do you have to jump back left from the little platforms, or does it do it automatically?
It does it automatically. You do the hop and then he hops back.
Yeah,
Wow!
Jonathan, me knew that was Goblins, the first one. It's okay, but I've never been into it. But Goblins 2 and Goblins 3 are two of my favourite Amiga games, and I just think they're so wonderful and brilliant. Oh, left. I think I may have checked out of this. I may have stopped caring whether or not this guy lives or dies. Let's try again.
Well, isn't always the way. People just don't care about trolls.
Yeah. And left. Oh, jump! Left.
There wasn't even anything on that.
Oh, there's no point doing that. Jump. Press through. Left.
There's nothing on that.
No.
I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Fair point. Jump. Left. Oh.
Now he's dead.
Hooray! I think he should be dead.
Well.
Oh no, he said Mi Caputo, which has to be a Danish equivalent of Mi Kaput. I am dead. Wow, I'm dead!
Imagine if you watched someone die, and then after they very clearly had no life left in their body, they said, "Wow, I've died." What is okay? So this is the menu screen. The top one I can kind of discern. It's like TV version or a different version. Control-y is, I'm guessing, the first one is the joystick, and the second one is going to be the number pad. But what is that bottom one? What are the options? Is there anyone watching who can read this and tell me what these
look,
controls
there's a
are?
clue. There's a clue because look at the word Graphica.
Yeah.
That's got to be something to do with graphics.
Yeah, F5 is Animan Grafica, and F6 is Vahiman Grafica.
Graphica.
So it's some kind of graphics setting.
Is that going to be like AGA or non-AGA? No, because I would just say...
I don't think it would be. I wish I would love to. And also F10 is, whatever that word is, I'm not going to embarrass myself by trying to pronounce it. Aloitospelli?
No idea.
What does that mean?
Wasn't it interesting that in those days, viewers, there were multiple kinds of Amigas, but the main difference between the kinds was that some had an AGA chipset and some didn't. That was just a graphics upgrade. And what was really weird, though, was that you had to buy the version of the game that corresponded to what Amiga you had. So if you wanted the fancy version of Zool 2, you had to buy the one that said AGA on the label. And it was just a little in the corner where it would say, like, Amiga or IBM PC compatible. You would say AGA there, and that was it. And you just had to rely on your, parents or yourself to notice the correct one and bring it home. Or it just wouldn't run. Why on earth didn't they just give you the disc for both versions?
Some games did. Not
did
many,
they?
but some did. And
Not many. I never saw any.
Some games actually had the ECS, OCS, and AGA versions all on the same disc.
Is that ECS, OCS? Is that the name for non-AGA?
OCS that refers to the. Oh no! What's happened?
Oh, I don't know.
I've lost the feed. I've lost
That's
it.
very...
Oh, it's because Discord is trying to steal it. Discord has seen, but where is it's gone? It's vanished from. You can still see it, but it's vanished from. It's vanished from. I'm gonna try deactivating and reactivating
From the stream. That's very weird.
There we go.
wonder
We've got it back now. I'm gonna try.
good.
Well, this gives me a good opportunity to load up the third Hugo game, which is actually under S.
Yes, or even better, just play some Goblins too.
You really want to see me play Goblins, don't you?
I kind of do, yeah.
I think we owe it to ourselves to investigate this third Hugo game. And
Yeah,
then,
I think we should.
and then we can have Little Goblins 2 as a treat.
Do you know what? No, we'll have Little Goblins 2 as a treat another time. I've just noticed it's 7:10 now. I should start making some tea.
What do you want to? What time is a good time to kind of be gone?
Just let's play some of this one and then let's stop, because ultimately it is time I ought to have gone. but let's try this third one and see what we get.
We'll do one more. We'll have a quickie. We'll have a quickie with Hugo.
Yeah.
It's SK. K comes after scroll, skid marks. What am I looking for? Skay. Okay, so I need to put up one.
SK comes after I'm the Scatman and before Ibidibidibidundudubdub.
Oh, I don't think I have this particular Hugo.
Oh my word.
I think it's not here.
Oh no.
I think we've run out of Hugos.
Well, there you go.
How do you feel? You feel good about that, or where?
I do. I feel tremendous about that.
Oh no. Well, I guess what I'll do is I will give you a Goblins 2.
Let's have a Little Goblins 2 as a treat, just to finish off with. Oh, it's so nice, Goblins 2.
Oh,
and it doesn't really emulate very well. Been able to play it since the actual Amiga.
Didn't they? They added support to Goblins in Scum VM recently, didn't they?
Okay, yeah, but this is one of those situations where I am not interested in the non-Amiga version of the game. Like, it's got different sounds and music, and it is.
Yeah, oh, Becky Jewel missed the. You missed us on the minecart. That was. Oh, I know. The minecart was. Sorry, I was got it confused with the trains.
Oh, there he is.
I remember. Very vivid. I think I played the demo of this. I think it was a demo.
Yeah, probably. Okay, you don't have to watch the intro. All he tells you is some story. I don't even know what the story is. I'm going to eat a jelly bean. Let's find out what flavour it's going to be. Reach into the Kirkland pot. It is a green one. Oh, there it is. Listen to that. It's so laid back. Some light jazz.
Oh, yeah, I definitely remember this.
So all you do is you've got two guys. They've got different skills and like abilities that they're good at, and you just interact with stuff until stuff happens, or they kill you.
That seems fair. And you stand on the exact same spot.
Well, obviously in that situation, the reaction was the same. But in some puzzles, one's better at it than the other, I think. Or it might not be that some of them can do certain things and the other one can do other things, but they have a personality, so they react differently.
Or you get murdered.
Look at him! I love this game.
I love the way that they've done the dialogue.
Yeah, isn't it great?
This is very charming.
Isn't it?
You don't currently own a physical Amiga, do you?
Yes and no. Yes, I do.
Oh.
No, I haven't figured out how to set it up. Because I thought, oh, I know, I've got my Amiga, I'll just plug it in and then that'll be it. But no, it turns out to be much more complicated than that, and I couldn't get it right. Maybe it was broken.
You considered buying a new well, I say new one. There was a period of time where there was an Amiga store in the Arndale Centre in Luton. I think it was after Escom bought Amiga. Because it was there for a bit and then it vanished.
I've never heard of such a thing as an Amiga store. I would be in absolute heaven in an Amiga store. Then or now.
I remember it. I also remember King Computers on King Street in Luton, which just sold computer hardware, including Amiga stuff.
But only to kings.
Only to kings.
With a very exclusive shop.
This is charming.
Isn't it?
This is very charming. I think what I'm going to do, because it is coming up now to 7:15 your time, I think
yes,
I'll shift back to the webcams, and then I'm going to turn off the Amiga. There we go.
And I just think you should play that in your own time. It's a very good game.
The animation's gorgeous. I just need to sit and stare at it on a screen that doesn't have your face next to it.
Yeah.
So this has been delightful. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's been
what
nice
a lot of fun for everyone sitting in the sun all day.
It's been nice doing this again. It's been too long. It's been 7 months, which is actually the last time we did this was about a month before Mandy and I moved into our apartment together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And what are you eating? What is that?
Tater tots and kimchi.
Oh, tater tots and kimchi. Good combination. I didn't mean that to sound sarcastic. It's just the accent.
By the way, there's a lot of talk about Woodruff. I haven't played Woodruff, nor have I played the post 3 Goblins games because they didn't do what I think was key in Goblins, which is for them to be that exact size and at that exact resolution. I think the art style is not nearly as appealing to me when it's just a good drawing. You know, I mean, like a high-resolution drawing, as it is when it's translated into funny little blocks and pixels. But that may just be me. But I will play it, obviously. I just needed to remember what it was called, and now I know it's called Woodruff.
You know, the thing that I want more than anything is I would really love it if in one of they re-release Simon the Sorcerer 1 and 2 for anniversaries every 5 years. I would love it if as a bonus feature, because when they did Simon the Sorcerer 3D, that's when everything kind of went pear-shaped for Simon.
Yeah.
The Sorcerer as a franchise.
Yeah.
But there was, and I remember them talking about it on the website for Simon the Sorcerer 3D, because I followed the development of that game for years. They had started work on a third Simon the Sorcerer game in the style of the first two, probably high resolution, probably 640 by 480, and they had screenshots of it. And they cancelled development of that in favour of Simon 3D because they couldn't get a publisher interested in publishing a LucasArts store point-and-click adventure game at the time.
Oh, no!
But that means that, in theory, sitting on someone's hard drive is a working build up to that point of what would have been Simon the Sorcerer 3.
Get it kickstarted, get a team together, finish it off.
Well, that's the thing. There was a Kickstarter for a Simon the Sorcerer reboot, and Chris Barry was supposed to be voicing Simon again. But the website has vanished. I can't remember if they kickstarted it or not. I think they talked about doing it.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and end the stream here, I think. If you're in the chat and you've been watching, thank you very much for doing so. If you're not in the chat and you haven't been watching, you can't hear me right now, which means I can say whatever I want about you, like so. You're a wonderful, handsome, beautiful person who's smart and caring and capable, and you can get through anything. It's also possible someone's watching this on the VOD. Someone's going through your YouTube channel, Dave, for that's where we are. We're on your YouTube channel.
Yep.
And they've decided, I'm just going to watch all of these serial ports. I'm going to watch these two idiots fumble their way through bad games.
They may well. There are sillier things that have been done in history. Anything you would like to plug, Ben, before we give it a night? Give it a night, call it a night.
Well, you're calling it a night, I'm calling it a morning. It's such as the nature of time difference. Do check out the Game of Rassilon. It is a Doctor Who role-playing game actual play podcast. The best way I can think to describe it is think of Doctor Who through the lens of something like The Adventure Zone. We've done 2 seasons. Our 3rd season is going to start in March. I'm the GM for that. I co-write the campaign with my friend Michael Nixon. Our players include comedian Riley Silverman, writer Dan Peck, and cosplayer and model Kate Lay. And we've done 2 very, very good seasons. We're about to embark on a 3rd season that I think tonally is going to be similar to Capaldi's last season in that it's kind of a victory lap for what we've done for the last 2 seasons. I'm very excited about it. Yeah, so that you can find that in your podcasting apparatus of choice by searching for the game of Rassilon, or just Doctor Who role-playing game. We come up if you search for that. Or you can follow us on social media at Rassilon Pod. We're everywhere. How about you, Dave? What are you? Where are you? What?
Well as being here on the Demon Tomato channel, which, look, I haven't done a lot on this year or 2020, but it's been 2020. Okay,
yeah.
I'm one of the very vulnerable people. I've not been having this time, but it's all right. I'll be back soon. I've started working on videos. This beard is for one. You'll see what that's all about. But I have been occupying myself with the making of 2 podcasts, which I genuinely think are on the higher end of podcasts. I think they're good, and I think you'll like them. One comes out every 2 weeks. See if you'd be interested in this. It's called Sonic the Comic, the podcast, and it is about the Sonic the Hedgehog comics. But wait, not the ones with Ken Penders and Sally Acorn and all of that stuff. No, we had our own Sonic comics here in the UK, and they were kind of games magazines that had comics as well. There were Sonic comics, but also there were other comics based on stuff like Mark Millar's Streets of Rage adaptation is a famous one. That's well worth a look. And they do things like Golden Axe and Echo the Dolphin and Wonder Boy and Shinobi and all these other things. Well, we've been going 1 issue at a time per episode and making the ultimate look back at that time. And it's not just here's what happens with Sonic this week. No. We looked at the news section. We looked at the letters page. We looked at the adverts. And I cut in as many clips of things that were going on there at the time. So it's like a little compendium of what it was like to be a kid in 1993, 4, 5, when Sonic the Hedgehog was new and the biggest thing in gaming at the time. And, in much the way that lots of American YouTubers and content looking back on the Mario days, here in the UK, Sonic won the game in the console war. So it's our look back at that. That is called Sonic the Comic, the podcast. I just think you'll really like it. It's full of all sorts of editing tricks and silliness. I don't know if you're still here. One Chop was in the chat a minute ago, has done a couple of good animations of bits of it. So maybe look on One Chop's channel for the STCTP animated clips. Falero's done some as well, if you know him. Anyway, that's my Sonic podcast. That's every 2 weeks with Chris McFeely from Transformers The Basics. I do another one, which is more sporadic. It just comes out whenever we've done one, and that is Serious Disness, which is a podcast. Yes. Which is a podcast about those Disney remakes they keep insisting on doing. Those live action remakes that nobody can really tell what they're for because nobody likes them. Well, what we decided to do was take them deadly seriously, and that includes not just write them off. We watch them, we seriously analyze them, and we talk about them, and we make a big production out of it. And and also to kick ourselves off, we also did 5-episode deep dive into just Frozen, in which we found out that is a perfect springboard to talk about no end of stuff about our own Disney memories and just all sorts of cool stuff about animation and how it works and how it's made and stuff like that. I think you'll enjoy that as well. It's called Serious Disness. So that's Sonic the Comic, the podcast, and Serious Disness. There is currently our latest episode of Serious Disness is about the awful Beauty and the Beast remake. And that's like a Christmas special. I'm currently working on editing the next episode of that because there's more than one episode about that film. It's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying editing that one, and you will hear that soon. So, that is Game of Rassilon, Sonic the Comic, the podcast, Serious Disness. Go and find them on your podcast things.
Perfect. That is us. Our Twitter handles are... Mine is here, and David's is... I always get my rotation. David's is there. Thank you so much for watching. If you have been, if you haven't been, that's your loss. And frankly, you'll just have to find a way to live your life with that. But if I'm going to borrow what Mickey Husky has said in the chat, and I'm going